Alright, hi everyone, this is Dat Boy. Welcome back to my channel. And today I bring you guys my favorite albums of 2023 list. Here are the 25 albums a list of 25 albums that I've put together, of the records that I thought were enjoyable, were fun, and were the key moments of my 2023 year in music. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the list. And for the sanity of you guys and mine as well, I will be going through the bottom 15 albums relatively fast. So, yeah, with all that said, let's get into it. So, at number 25 is the folk album by artist Minghui Lee. It's a pretty chill folk record. Number 24 would be another Korean project by the band Paranormal, After the Magic. Now, I will still say that I prefer the debut, but this one is also quite pretty. At number 23, we have the model actress album Dog's Body. Now, this thing feels like a combination of like the sounds of the two bands, Daughters and Shoo Shoo. Now, if you've heard these two bands, then you know exactly what I'm getting at. But yeah, kind of digging the sound. Moving on to number 22, though, is one of the pop records of the year by Lana Del Rey. Did you know that there is a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Sorry about that. And it's good. I have nothing more to say. Then comes in at number 21 is King Cruel, Space Heavy. Now this thing is pretty jazzy. It's a jazz rock record, and I love the sound of it. So yeah, pretty much I'm gonna say about that one. And at number 20 we have the 100 gecs record 10,000 gecs. Again, as with the case of Paranormal, I do enjoy the debut one or the 1000 gecs way better, but this one is also not bad. This one kind of grew on me a little. At first, I thought it was a bit too straightforward, too silly at some moments. But as I re-listened to it, I began to just embrace the goofiness, and I think the album is more straightforward still, which is I think I enjoy the more like crazy, eclectic approach in the former record. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. A bit of a ramble right there. Moving on to number 19 is another good pop record, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. I don't need to say more. And at number 17, we have the hip hop record Billy Wood solo record, Maps. I do think the beats are fun. They are not overstated or abrasive or anything like that. It's just the perfect amount of kick ass, the vintage like code of paint in the production is also really to my taste as well. The bars are pretty good. So, overall, like a very good Billy Woods record. Like, it's not like he's gonna make a bad record or anything like that, right? Moving on to number 16 is the beautiful yet devastating Sufjan Stevens record, Javelin. I love it quite a bit. At number 15, we have probably the art pop record of the year by Caroline Polachek, Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. Like the production is just a masterclass. How she makes the sounds sound the way they do, with that really liquidy, smooth timbre. Like it's so unique. You don't get that out of many albums. Masterclass production, and I cannot, I guess, overstate that. Sure, the track list isn't the most consistent thing, geez, in the world, but it is still nothing to sneeze at. Moving on to number 14 is another, or rather a Japanese record, Moon by Moon in June. The title is, I'm just gonna throw the cover on the screen. I have not researched it in advance, so I cannot read every single kanji over here. But anyways, it is a well done shoegaze adjacent / dream pop record that I guess I find myself enjoying quite a bit. It's not the most insane thing on this list or anything like that, but we love ourselves some just well done music that doesn't try to be anything more than that. You know what I'm saying? The guitar textures on this thing are pretty fantastic. And yeah, that's my number 14. At number 13 is a record called Cupid by a band of the same name, Cupid, basically a self-titled thingy. And I don't think I need to say much. If you've heard about Daogo, or if you've heard about Seichi Nangai or the band Sotase Riron, you're gonna want to check this thing out. It is super eclectic. It is super, in your face, yet it is engaging, and it is not overbearing. It is really cool. It manages to fuse multiple genres together. We have some J-rock, some hip-hop, some, I wouldn't say hip-hop, more like rap, some electric, glitch, all that good stuff. All that fused together and executed quite well. And again, while the track list isn't the most consistent, but when the band lock in, they just lock the frick in. And I feel like this is one of the more underrated records this year that people should check it out. People should be checking this bad boy out. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving on to my number 12 is the Jeff Rosenstock record, Hell Mode. It is punchy, it is dynamic, it is high energy, and it is really for so many days in 2023 just something I need, although it really came out a bit later in the year, which doesn't matter. I just love the energy on this thing. The lyrics are also quite relatable, and even though I have not dived into his back catalog, it is easy, or at least not difficult, to understand why people love his music quite a bit. Yeah, I'm kind of hooked right now, so I will be diving into his catalog for a good listen down the line. That's exactly my plan. And at number 11, we have a new rising star under the name of Group Therapy. The album name is I Was Mature for My Age, But I Was Still a Child. Now, this one is it's not the most insane, innovative sound in the world, but it manages, I guess, kind of in the same vein as the Cupid album. It manages to bring together so many things. We got a bit of R&B, we got a bit of rap, we got a bit of pop, and anything in between that spectrum. And the band do it with such finesse and skill. You think that they've been around for much longer than they actually have been. And it's just a really feel good listen from top to bottom. I thoroughly enjoyed it during my trip abroad last summer vacation, and I am looking forward to anything these guys put out going into the future. Fantastic band chemistry, really. These trio, they're killing it. Absolutely. So yeah, that's the bottom 15 records. As we are slowly approaching top 10, I guess I will get a bit more wordy, a bit more thorough with my explanation as to why I felt the way I felt placing these albums here. So, with that said, let's get straight into the top 10 territory. Let's go. With number 10, it's kicking off strong with the Sprain record. The Lamp as Effigy is such a harrowing, abrasive, noisy, tortured record that goes on for so long, yet so engaging, and so it is just so tastefully done. Even though like abrasive and tasteful aren't necessarily the words that go hand in hand, right? But I mean to say tasteful in the sense that I don't know how this is a debut album yet. They're able to nail this style of music so well, and in such a tortured and really manner. It is absolutely amazing, and to think that they have disbanded shortly after dropping this record is just sad. And the reason why I kind of feel hesitant, whatever the correct word is, to place this one a bit higher is because I have not listened to it more than once. But even with one listen, it's already so memorable, and it's like the absolutely abrasiveness and the horror in the sound have been like staying with me since then, and I will be sure to give it a few more listens, later. So yeah, hell yes, awesome record, insane record. Can't say enough good things about it. And with that said, let's move on to my number 9, which is a Latin record. One of my favorite Latin records of this year. Not that I've been listening to other Latin records, you know what I'm saying? But it is the Ana Frango Electrico record. Trico, whatever. I am not going to pronounce that, as I'm going to heavily butcher it, but I'm going to put it on the screen because I always do that. And yeah, I don't think I want to commentate much on this other than it's a really fun record. It's a really well done record. It's funky. It does everything so skilled and well in the respective genres that it's trying to fill in. And in 2023, I just need me some fun and well done and consistent music like this record. Like, given the track list isn't all about fun and funkiness like the first track, Electric Fish, which I find myself bumping a lot, it's still like a really smooth and beautiful listen that I find myself coming back to quite a bit. So yeah, shout out to Miss Ana Frango Electrico. Awesome album. And at number 8, we have, it is quite a surprise for me since I am not a big fan of the soft rock genre, but the Lemon Tweaks, Everything Harmony. Now, I don't think I'm qualified to talk about soft rock, so I'm going to parrot some of the opinions that I've seen online, which sort of reflects my listening experience quite accurately. But this thing is a musical experience that tries to capture that sort of late 60s, early 70s aesthetics, and it does that quite well. It is not the kind of nostalgia-based music, all style, no substance. It has its own refreshing twists to the sounds as well. It is, the songs are beautifully written, super infectious, super catchy, and super sweet. It hits us, many people, I guess, right in the feels, and your boy is no exception. This one is just a hard hitter through its really infectious and passionate songwriting and performances. You just gotta love the vocals, super sweet and syrupy, and the instrumentation is light and just really pillowy, and you can just insert any word that means oh, this feels so good right here. And it is this album. And again, like I said, I want me some fun, passionate music like this for my for any given year of music, right? So yeah. Moving on to my number 7, though, is another quite abrasive. I wouldn't say abrasive, more like somewhat tortured record by Miss Kristen Hayter, or under her artist name, Reverend Kristen Michael Hayter. Man, this honestly sounds like a Souls kind of boss name. If you've played any Soulsborne game before, you get what I mean. Saved. Well, this one is it's acapellian, it's whatever folk genre it tries to pull inspirations from. It's sort of like really like bare bones and stripped back instrumentation, the really beautiful classically trained vocals, and the lo-fi aesthetic on top. The really religious gospel influence are, everything everything is woven together so insanely well, and the output is just an experience that I can't help but adore, and I find myself I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of, religious things, religion themed stuff, but, this one though, and for, I guess, a lesser extent, or actually as significant an extent, her previous projects from the now retired name Lingua Ignota. Just the stuff hits so goddamn hard, Even though I find the lo-fi experimental efforts to kind of feel wrong. For example, like the fluctuation in volume level in the first track is kind of like, I kind of question that. But overall, hell yes, this is just, gospel and folk music never sounds this great to me, honestly. It never sounds like this. Hell yeah. And yeah, I find myself bumping the Precious Lord track quite a bit too. It's just a fun track thrown in the middle of the sea of like heart-wrenching pain and suffering and plea and all that crap, Awesome. But yeah, I think I will stop yapping about things, on this record right now, and moving on to my number 6, which is the Geese record. Now, my opinion on this one is short and concise. It is a revivalism record. Not that I am well versed on the whole revivalism movement thingy, but people say that, so I'm going to kind of echo that statement. Anyways, revivalism plus some alt country twists, that's executed insanely well. The vocal performances are passionate and infectious, and there's so much dynamic and range in there. There's so much like feels in there, The front man just puts a lot of his heart and soul in the vocal performances. I can clearly see. Now, I do find like the longer track Undoer to be not that great. But overall though, this record kicks ass from front to back, and it is, I can't say that I am not excited for more from this band. They kind of kicked ass this year, all right? They kind of kick ass. So that's my number 6. Move on to my number 5 though, is the Underscores record, Wall Socket. Now, this thing is quite literally peak Zoomer music. It's got everything. Now, I guess there are 3 key points about this record that I want to talk about. So first of all, the lyrical content, very interesting, very, it's like the kind of stuff that Zoomers would care about, that nobody asked for, like freaking financial crimes and grooming. Like there's literally a song about grooming. on top of like this sort of combination of really various internet-based genres of music, which, when you couple that with the kind of lyrical content that's not for everybody, it's such like a surreal and kick-ass experience that not many other albums could deliver, in 2023 or in any given year for that matter. This album's also got like an underlying lore, kind of, how do I put it? Like some underlying like world building and lore and characters, which I am not like deep into that rabbit hole, but I know for a fact that it's there. And even when you're just trying to enjoy this album on like a surface level, you're just trying to read and interpret the lyrics on a surface level, there's still a lot. There's a whole lot in the production department, a whole lot in the lyric-related department. There's just a lot to this album. It's got creativity, it's got variety, and it's got the crazy. And again, I just gotta say this: peak Zoomer music. I can't stop bumping Old Money, bitch. I can't. Somebody has to help me. Like really, I'm having like a mental issue with not being able to stop playing that song. Oh my God, that's a lot. Although we only got 4 more records left, so let's keep plowing through the rest. And my number 4 will be the Amaray record, Fountain Baby. It's just so freaking good. Like the super sweet and syrupy vocal performances, the never-ending grooves. Like there's so much nuance in the production, especially on the like percussion, side of things, where you get a lot of like different percussion instruments. I can hear a lot of that, a lot of nuances. Like the production is just insane for a pop record. I can't stress that enough. Like absolutely comparable to the Caroline record. Even though this one is more groovy, it's more catchy, it's more infectious, it's more like, oh my God, like the melodies on these things, I don't even know, it's so otherworldly. It's not like otherworldly in the sense that it's the sounds that I've never heard before, but it's like otherworldly in the sense that I'm taken out of my body for how like groovy this thing is from start to finish. And I don't even know what else to say. The lyrical content it's not the deepest thing in the world, but like I'm not a fake ass mofo. I'm not gonna act like I need that all the time. This one's got production, it's got the never ending groove. The grooves are just, once I sit down and, put on this thing, I just go from start to finish and never stop. And I got like taken in, like sucked in the awesome musical experience from top to bottom. It is that simply good. All right? If you are a fan of pop music, I don't think you should, I guess, miss out on this. And if you don't like this record, I don't like you. All right? I'm gonna keep it real. Anyways, moving on to number 3 is another metal record. And it's by Liturgy. Now, Liturgy is one of those bands that I am not well-versed with their like lore or anything like that. So I'm not gonna try to talk too much on that side of things. But the sort of like the musical experience that this thing gives me is just so freaking engaging. It's long, it's cathartic, it's dense, it's heavy. Like, oh my God, every time a given track crescendos, like it climaxes, I just wanna tear up. There's just a little bit of tear in that eye socket of mine. Like, it's so freaking experimental yet like rewarding. Like sometimes the experimental qualities come in the expanse of, I guess, the sense of reward that you get for listening to a long album, like when the tracks build up and they explode. This thing's got all that good stuff. It builds up, it explodes, it's got that velocity, it's got that ferocity, it's got and if you look into my background, you know that I love my punk ass music. Literally, like, album of the year 2022 is a punk record. So metal is not punk, but like the ferociousness is absolutely here, absolutely here. People go on and on about how experimental and insane like this band is, one of the best in the genre of art, avant-garde metal. I don't know any about that, but I just listened to this thing once and I immediately see that this is at least top 5. And, it managed to land on my top 3. Amazing record from Miss Hendrix and the band and the company, right? Whew. Yeah, I'm not going to, I guess, over extrapolate my points on this one. It's number 3. It must say something, right? So number 2, all right? My number 2 is the Sampha record, Lahai. Sampha has been quite a unique talent from what I've learned. Now, I have not listened to his other stuff, but this album is like so many ways comparable to Blonde by Frank Ocean. It is so precise. It is not minimal. I wouldn't use the word minimal, but it never tries to over-arrange the musical ideas. It never tries to get super dense and in your face or anything like that. It tries to, give you all these like fast attacking drums, like this skippy, glidey piano notes, and some really elegant strings from time to time. All that woven into a package. All that are kind of like used to highlight the beautiful gem that is the heavenly vocals of Mr. Sampha. Like, my God, his voice is beautiful, and the music never tries to like overtake that or anything like that. It tries to like make you see, like, here you go, this is the man Sampha, and here are his beautiful vocals. All right, appreciate that. We are just here to kind of like complement that, elevate that stuff to the next level. And for an album to do this with such finesse and like effortlessness, I just can't help but feel like it's too amazing for me to not have it at number 2. And I've been coming back to this record quite a bit. I don't think there's like inherently a track that I feel like is bad or anything like that. It's just that some tracks kind of pale in comparison to some others. That's the only reason why I kind of feel hesitant to put it a bit higher, but it's all good. Still my number 2. Still amazing, all right? I don't care what anyone says. It hits in the feels. All right, all that yapping just to arrive at number 1, album of the year, okay? Now, I know this is predictable, but hear me out. I'm a fan of J-Pac Mafia, all right? I'm his boy, I'm his bitch. And I'm also a fan of Mr. Danny Brown for how like charismatic he is, and as well as how he is able to rap over some garbage ass beats. Not garbage in the sense that the beats are garbage, but like a beat that doesn't even sound like a beat, you know what I'm saying? He's like so good at rapping. Now you combine the Swiss knife in hip hop, that is J-Pac, and I mean Swiss knife in the sense that he does everything. He's versatile, he's talented, he is literally my God. God is black, actually. I mean, it's not that it ain't a fact or anything by now, but you know what I mean. Anyways, all that yapping, I'm sorry about that. Apologies. Yapping, yeah, you know. Scaring the Host. Scaring the Host is kind of my album of the year. Now, I have written quite a few things, few key points that I want to yap about this thing. So let me pull that up real quick. Script time, baby. Let's freaking go. All right, let me see what I done cook. So I wouldn't expect any less of this record, of this collab, baby. Just imagine two legendary artists, or at least contemporarily speaking, coming together and drop. That would be an insanely depressing timeline to be existing in, and I am glad that we got it good over here. This one is also an insane experience from top to bottom. No shit, past me, you cook. Allow me to quickly touch on why the album is just so good in the beats department, all right? Just to demonstrate why I wouldn't put this album any otherwise, all right? It belongs in my number one spot. So we got the awesome breakcore aesthetic opener, Lean Beef Patty, which also has a dope beat switch halfway. Hell yeah. Then we have the awesome swaggy Step a Pig, whose synth work, yeah, it's just sparkly and addictive. You know, we got that Terraria twang, wang, and then the you know what I'm saying? That's so good. And then the crispy kind of hand claps and oomphy low end, and the kind of sour sax playing on the Scaring the Hose track, right? That is just whir, you know what I'm saying? Brrr, so good. And also, it's really hard to believe how the freaking Garbage Pail Kids starts with some Japanese noodle commercial samples, and then it slowly progresses into some sort of like distorted rock, noise rock riff. Like the progression is so freaking satisfying. And then the kind of really playful vibes that the Fentanyl Tester track gives off, especially towards the end when it goes like doot 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 doot. You know the sounds. And let me see what else. All right, Perfect. All right, Perfect sounds like an epic sports team introduction, and that's how I love it. It's just so epic. And let me see what else. Shut Your Bitch Ass Up, right, is kind of abstract sounding with that like oomph, oomph. I don't even know how to sort of like describe it. I'm stupid. Orange Juice Jones, yes. Now, this track is probably my least favorite, not because it's bad, but because like 110 out of 10 track Hazard Duty Pay sort of exists. Kind of tough composition from, your own creator, you know what I'm saying? Holy shit. I also find like the Apple tritone sampling that pops up in the middle of the track to be kind of distracting, but other than that, it's still a fun track. Hazard Duty Pay exists though. Kingdom Hearts Key is probably the most video game, right, victory soundtrack ever. Something I would imagine play when after the Protac slayed the boss, and then that rare drop slowly floats up from the all that yapping just to say this one is so good. Anyways, let me see. Run the Jewels, or rather, God Loves You, sounds like a bunch of people coming together, running in circles in their feet, stomping so loud that it shakes up an entire building. Holy fuck, I was cooking, and it's real. It's just so freaking good. Run the Jewels could straight up be an opener for a TV show or something. And I agree with my past self. Jack Harlow combo, Mio, the piano, and the final portion of the song where J-Pack got a bit zesty and it goes like, it's been minutes, been hours. That's so Carly Rae Jepsen, and it's so good. This track is just so whack and epic. Like, hell yeah, baby. And alright, let me see what else. The gospel aesthetic on Ho, Heaven on Earth, is just executed with such a J-Pack twist that I fall in love with. And yeah, I agree. J-Pac isn't the only one who can nail the gospel aesthetic, but yeah, he does that in his way that I kind of just freaking respect. And where you got Coke from that Japanese, oh yeah, the closer with that Japanese chord music percussion that go tuk, 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 tuk. That shit is just so good. And just when you take a look at this album and the various influences that is pulled upon, it's just you just see you can't fucking deny the talent that is Mr. JPEG. Like, you must be crazy for thinking that this album lacks any sort of like substance or style or whatever, which I'll be touching on in a bit. And anyways, let me see. The percussion and those in-your-face walls of noise is just a fine-ass way to stand off the record. Hell yes. Oh my god, I was cooking with these paragraphs. Anyways, on all, the beats are just insanely engaging and creative. To think that one dude cooked the majority of these blows my mind. These beats are also beautifully rapped or sung on top of with funny, clever bars. Yeah, the bars on this record are just insane. They're so fun, and they got you thinking a little bit. Especially the message and sentiment on scaring the host of not conforming to the norms, which, yeah, let's cook some weird ass stuff and be happy with it. We don't need to care about nobody. We ain't hurting nobody. We ain't murdering nobody's ass. Why care? It's about ourselves and what we are happy with, what I'm saying? So keep being experimental, keep searching for that high, as long as you're not trying to be racist and stupid. It's all good. Yep. All right, let me see. There's still a bit more to it. All right, just 2 more paragraphs. Bear with me. I love you guys. Danny Brown's ability to trivialize rapping on pretty much anything is just something we gotta study. Yep, that is indeed what we gotta study. And like I've said at the beginning, I don't understand how he's able to rap so well. He's insane. He's kind of like crazy, But I guess you gotta be a bit crazy to be a good rapper. I don't think there's like a normal rapper that's good. All right, okay. Closing in on to the end portion of my analysis of this record. The chemistry between the two are just OP. Yes, sir. I don't vibe with the mixing on this one. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't vibe with the mixing on this one in the sense that it's a bit bright, it's less clean compared to his previous records, like the Veteran? It's like Veteran or Veterans with an S. Whatever. And the LP record. I do kind of like the production on those two a bit better than this. However, when you get used to it, the core experience slaps hard as hell. No shit, Sherlock. Also, this one feels a bit like Danny just tagging along instead of, actually being one half of this record. And I mean that in the sense that the beats always sound like they are made by Peggy, and Danny just hops on instead of having contributing to any of that beat writing. Considering Peggy did most of the sampling and composing and stuff like that, I do find that it's not kind of entirely wrong to be accusing Danny Brown of not having contributed any beats to the entire record. But honestly, let me see what I also think about that. I think, yeah, the chemistry is more than enough, and it's more like a me issue, because I expected some Danny Brown-esque beats, which we didn't get. It mostly sounds like Peggy's beats, but it's all good. Just some dumbass yapping. So yeah, I'll let that slide. But yeah, overall, I just feel like Orange Juice Jones is a little bit less good compared to the rest of the record, just because Hazard Duty Pay exists, and that song it lives in my heart rent free. Yeah, I would have loved to have heard something that has that, Danny Brown essence in the beat department. Beats kind of all JPEG sounding to me, but that's just me. So let's just say that we should not be focusing on that The record, what we got, is amazing. I've just talked about why it's amazing. Insane beats, insane bars, insane chemistry, insane everything. Almost perfect from top to bottom. And that's why it's my album of the year. And I haven't been able to give Danny Brown, sorry, not Danny Brown. He's got album of the year already back in 2016, Atrocity Exhibition. But I'm talking about JPEG. I haven't given him an album of the year title ever since I started music, listening like a dumb ass nerd. And now is the opportunity. So yes, sir. Album of the year, Scaring the Host, JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown. Shout out to you guys for making my year awesome as hell, and like everybody else on this list too. You guys have made my year in music, and I love you guys. That is my list. So what do you guys think? Is my list stupid? Is my list based? Should I have listened to something else? Should I, kind of kill myself because this sucks? Or should I be your friend because my taste in music is not that bad? Tell me in the comment section below if you've made it to all the way till the end. But that should be it from me for now, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. In the meantime, stay healthy and don't take your own life. Keep enjoying music and keep being some dumbass nerds, because that's what I love about my viewers. And I'll see you guys in the next one. That boy signing out. Ciao.